All right, so this is episode 4 of Maxing Out My Gut, and today we're going to be talking about sauerkraut. Now, I made mine with purple cabbage. All it really takes to make sauerkraut is you chop up the cabbage finely, and then you add 2% of the total weight of all of the cabbage as salt, and then you crush it down. It makes this juice. And then you press it so that it's submerged in the juice inside of a mason jar, whatever you got. And then you let it sit. As long as it stays under the juice, it creates an oxygen-free environment. And then you have sauerkraut. Mine's fermented for about 10 days. I'll explain why in a second. But first, let's get into the macros. What have I been eating? This has been my gut reset. So let's see what is in store. All right, starting with breakfast. On the day of recording episode 3, I had a banana, and then ate a lunch of chicken and dumplings, a couple apples, peanut butter with the apples, sourdough starter, and that was pretty good. And then we went to the snacks. I was struggling to get protein this day, so I bought a beef stick from the gas station to get some sort of protein. And then because we had so little food, and because I benched 225 for the first time, I decided I was going to act as Conor McGregor did and go full degen mode, which wasn't the smartest idea. I ate one package of these stuffed oat bites, that's 16 grams of sugar. I had some beef pho, which doesn't seem that bad, but it's got seed oils and stuff in it. It was pre-packaged. Weird Chinese food that shouldn't have eaten. Some vanilla ice cream and half of a chocolate chip cookie from Crumble, which, if you don't know what Crumble is, it's awful for you. They put like a full stick of butter in each of their cookies. It's crazy. So I'm not too proud of this day, but it happened and it's part of the journey. So let's go to the next day. This day, if I remember correctly, it was a lot more disciplined. I made some overnight oats with mixed fruit and peanut butter. They were fantastic. I had a package of chicken tikka masala from Costco. It was an easy lunch. Had 6 eggs with that. I'd recommend that. For dinner, I had some roasted potatoes and a chicken breast with, I forget, it's called like chicken brulee or something. But it's chicken with cheese on it and spinach. And that was great. Good day. Some snacks. I just had a few cashews, a banana. 3,400 calories. Not bad. Yesterday I fasted with my cousin, but I forgot in the morning. So I ate a banana. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm fasting. Fasted the whole day. 24 hours. Not bad. Today, I've had overnight oats, and then I had a cookie that a girl made in the Bible study that I'm a part of. So I had to support, be grateful. You already know. All right, that's it. All right, in this video, I'm going to be talking about, majorly, how to incorporate the scouts and what I'm going to be doing to incorporate the scouts. Now, what are these? I had the bright idea to ask ChatGPT to put gut health into caveman terms. And it talked about this strand of bacteria called lactobacillus. And they are categorized as the scouts. And they're found specifically in a recently new sauerkraut. They're a little higher in kimchi and such, but sauerkraut is essentially the best for starting out because it's low in these things called histamines, which will cause bloating, inflammation, all these problems if you dive in head first, too much probiotics at once. So this is a nice option that's not too heavily fermented, but still gives a solid foundation of these scouts. Now what these scouts are, the lactobacillus strands, they go into your gut. In theory, they'll go into your gut and they'll start to crowd out all the bad bacteria. They start to take refuge in your gut. And they keep you healthy. They, in higher quantities, will help you digest lactose. So if you're lactose intolerant, this will be helpful. And you're going to want the scouts. The scouts make room for the later ferments. This is level 1. They make room for the later ferments to dominate so that your acne goes away. If you smell really bad, that'll start to go away. I would like to talk about the symptoms that I had, reaccrued. My dandruff never really went away. It was good for one day, and then unfortunately it came back at first just a little bit. And now it's full force again. I start to smell whenever I sweat, even with deodorant. I start to smell when I sweat, and it's kind of yeasty, and it's kind of giving me the idea that we're not supposed to smell like this as humans. I don't think that deodorant is something that should be required, ideally. That doesn't mean don't wear deodorant if you smell like BO. Absolutely put it on, get some sort of natural deodorant. But I think with a perfect gut health, we shouldn't need this deodorant, and it would honestly be bad to use it if you're able to not smell whenever you sweat, because of something called pheromones. In animals, their signs that they want to mate are their pheromones. Basically, how they smell will attract a mate. And I think humans do that too. It's highly debated in the scientific realm whether pheromones are legit, but deodorant would definitely block this if they are legit. And if you're a guy and you're in school still, chances are you probably want a girlfriend. So it might be something to consider. As a man who definitely plans on being married in a couple years, I don't want to mask that. I want every advantage I can get. That's the point of this gut health thing. Not necessarily just for girls, but you should want to maximize your gut health to be able to get every chance you can get of greatness. If you have acne, you're not going to look put together. Even if you do as much as you can to make yourself look put together, you're not going to. People are going to see you with acne, and they're going to think, oh, that's a kid. And that's not going to do you well in business. That's not going to do you well in finding a mate. Acne is not something we had to deal with hundreds of years ago. So why are we dealing with it now? Poor gut health. That's my theory. So we're starting with these scouts in the sauerkraut. This purple sauerkraut. We're starting with the scouts. I'm going to start off with a couple teaspoons of the brine, which is the juice, a day, and then I'm going to start incorporating sauerkraut. Get those scouts incorporated. My acne's back. I'm starting to smell. I'm getting really dry hands. My dandruff, my scalp it also feels dry. My back knee is back. I have chest acne. Hopefully all of this will start to be alleviated once I start to incorporate these probiotics. This is level 1. Incorporate the scouts. If you're trying to do a gut health journey alongside me, a 7-day sauerkraut, let it ferment. Honestly, you can start eating it at 3 days. That's when the pH is low, which means it's better for your gut than a high pH at the start. And then once your gut starts to get more diversity in its microbiome, it can handle the higher pH stuff, and that's going to be better for it. But right now, we're just starting. We're just at level 1. So a 10-day sauerkraut introduces about half of the lactobacillus microbes that you need in that family. And it's the starting point. So I'd recommend a little action step. Start a sauerkraut. Buy a couple mason jars. Finely shred some cabbage, purple or any cabbage really. It doesn't really matter. Add some salt. Pound that cabbage. The water will start to break down. And then whenever you press on it, there will be that brine. If you don't have one already, invest in a kitchen scale. That 2% salt is very important. We don't want to be getting botulism. That's the disease. We don't want to be getting botulism. That would be People die from that. That'd be a terrible thing to have. So make sure you do it right. Invest in a kitchen scale. Get some sauerkraut going, because that's really good for your gut. It's a really good starting point. Chances are, if you're like anything like me, maybe you smell bad and have to wear deodorant. Maybe you sweat a lot. I have a feeling sweating a lot in your armpits is also from a bad microbiome, because when I was on carnivore, I didn't get that problem. I noticed I didn't really sweat through my shirts unless it was intense training. Before that point, I'd be sitting in school and I'd have sweat through my shirt and I'd have to sit like this with my arms as tightly clenched to my body as I can, like a boy, just to not show those sweat stains. So that's another thing that you might be able to potentially fix. Get a sauerkraut going, introduce the scouts. The next step after we introduce the scouts will be to house the infantry, the tribe leaders. Start to introduce those bacteria that will dominate the gut and really bring health. In the Bible, we're commanded to treat our body like a temple, and I think this is the way to do it. So I hope you guys are able to find success in this, and I'm going to keep documenting my journey. This is episode 4. Thank you for watching.